for anyone out there who had a pretty terrible week like I did, this video might be for you. So my week was not so good, okay? And when I say not so good, I don't mean it in the sense, no, it was the worst week of my entire life. Like, my parents died, there was a explosion near my house, bombs were falling from the sky. No, nothing like that. It's just that a terrible work week, let's say. Let's say that your bosses were not the greatest, your trainers were not that good, your colleagues were kind of bad, and a lot of bad things happened to you. Maybe a disagreement with the client or something of the sorts. And something which demotivated you extremely, something which made you extremely angry or sad or stressed. In my situation, it was extreme anger and stress. Because, let's just say, one of my colleagues were not the greatest. Let's just frame it like that. So what happened was, since they were not the greatest, I was the one who ended up getting the short end of the stick, and I had to do more work than I was supposed to, even though it was not my fault. And things like this happen all the time in work or school or what, in life basically. Sometimes you get the short end of the stick. You don't get it all the time, but there are times when you do get it, and when you do get it, it does not feel great, because it's not your fault, and it sucks. It really does suck. Like, why is it? It's because of this person's negligence and irresponsibility that I have to suffer so much. If they did their job properly, maybe this issue would have never, rose in the first place. It could have been stopped. But no, because of this person's negligence, it came again. Kind of pathetic, in my opinion. It's really pathetic. Sorry. Sorry about that. But yeah, yesterday night it was not very good for me. I was very mad, very mad. Which I am a bit ashamed of. Well, I should not be ashamed of it, because I think I had every right to be mad in that circumstance. However, when I look back on it, being mad was not the most productive thing I could have done. I think staying calm in that moment could have been a significantly better way. A significantly better way of going about achieving what I wanted. But I chose to be mad. Yeah, the reason I want to make this video is because now some days have passed since those events, and I'm feeling significantly better now. I realize that everything in life is temporary. Even those colleagues of yours, even those work situations which cause you extreme stress, they are not going to last forever. And if they do last forever, well, they will only last forever in your imagination, because nothing lasts forever. Those things will eventually disappear, and so will the stress and anxiety and all of that. Eventually all of them will go away. The thing is, though, we keep on stressing about these things. We keep on being so worried about all of these different things, even though that we know that these things don't last forever, and these things eventually would not matter to our lives in the long run. Why? Because it's our job, it's our schoolwork, it's our relationships, and these things do matter to us, in the sense that a job will help us put food on the table, a good education will help us find a good job that will help us put food on the table, and relationships make us happy. Yet we still care for all of, well, obviously we care for all of these things because they are really important aspects of our survival. So it makes sense why we stress about these things. However, I do want to add one point, one single thing, and that is that no matter what we do with our lives, we will all eventually end up dead. We are all eventually going to die. So, if you're all going to eventually die, then does it really matter if we, in a sense, live it in the way that we are supposed to? And by that I mean that a lot of people don't really live life because they are living life, but rather they live other people's lives. For example, a lot of people go to college not because they actually want to study or to learn, but because they think that's what you're supposed to do, that's what you should do. A lot of people are pressured into doing that. A lot of people find jobs that they hate, not because of anything, but just to get money, not because they're passionate about it or anything like that. That's what like society has encouraged us to do all of those things that we are not passionate about. And in a logical sense, it makes sense, we had to put food on the table somehow. However, I do want to add one thing. If you are not passionate about this, then why get angry about it? Why be sad? Why be mad about all of these things? It's not going to affect you because you don't really care for it. That's the same thing with the job I had. Now when I think about it, I'm just thinking, why did I get mad in the first place? Why could I just stayed calm? If it's not something I'm passionate about, if it's not something I truly deeply care about, then why did I even think that being mad, getting mad was a good idea in the first place? It's not something that's truly important to me. It's something that's artificially important, not something that I truly care about. So why be mad about that? So yeah, why choose to care about things that you don't even, that if given another better choice, you would have immediately not do those things. Okay, that was confusing. Why truly care about things that you don't care about? That's the way I think, at least. When I think about it now, I probably should not have given so many shits about that. I should not have gotten mad. I should not have done any of those things. I could have just stayed calm and just accepted it. And I'm not saying, like if someone does you wrong, like just accept it and move on. No. Fight back. Okay, it's your life. Fight back. Fight for what's right. Do all of that. But stay calm while doing it. There's no reason to get mad or sad or any of that, because at the end of the day, it's your choice whether you want to live a fulfilling life or not. So why waste that time being extremely mad at yourself or someone else when you can just find happiness from everything that life gives you? Find contempt in everything. Now when I look back at that situation, I am really ashamed. That's why I said I'm ashamed, because I could have been content with that, but I was not. And I'm ashamed of that. I'll be content with the fact that I'm ashamed. It's a roundabout way of doing things, but yeah, that's the way I think, at least. And yeah, I hear you say that, like I'm doing this job because I want to put food on the table, and that's important to me. Survival is important, and I agree, it is important. So treat it exactly as it's meant to be treated. Just survival. It's not something to be mad at, something to enjoy, something to be sad at. Just something to put food on the table, and that's it. Treat it just like that. Don't try to treat it more than what's required from it. The thing is, most profit driven organizations are just that they don't really care about you, they just care about making profits. So treat those organizations exactly like that too. Treat it as a way to get money. That's all that matters in those kinds of things. And that's true for every single aspect of life. Treat every single aspect of life not in the way that you want it to be treated, but rather in the way that it treats you. Education, at least as of now, treats you as a customer. This is how lectures used to be in the past. Lectures were the reason why people attended university was because books were extremely expensive. They were extremely expensive. So in lectures, what they would do is there would be one person who would read out the books, out loud, and everyone would discuss their ideas, discuss their thoughts and opinions regarding what they just heard. And that's why university was such a great thing for most people, because it was the cheapest option available. But now, these days, because of the internet, this information is extremely free. So what's the point of getting a degree? For the most part, degrees are just a collection of information in which you can find online for free. So what's the exact purpose of a degree? Well, it's just a certificate that proves that you have learned what you have learned, and it's good for getting jobs. That's it. A university is no longer a path, at least for most people, to learn things, but rather it's a path to get a good job. It's shifted from being learning about the world to getting a job. And even now, these days, it's failing because of how oversaturated the job market is. Yeah, that's what I wanted to rant about today. Yeah, and these things all might be, important for you, but if you don't truly care about it, then is it really important? Because the way I see it is it how long you live that makes a life a good life, or the way in which you live life that makes it worthful? Like some of the greatest heroes ever died young. They did not live for a very long time. Yet they're still remembered to this day, and they're remembered as great men and great women. Why? Because of the way that they live their life. So live life in a moral way. Don't be mad. Don't be mad at the things that really don't require you to be mad. Be content with life and just be moral, and you live a good life. Yes, if you do that, there might be some instances where life might take advantage of you, but you'd be more happy than anyone else because you have gained wisdom and you truly know how life works. And I think that's something to be proud of, something that will help you. Now, that's the way I think, at least. Yeah. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed. See ya.